What is going on, everybody? It's the man with no name here. We are back in action. So this is not going to be a series or a genre of videos. This is just basically going to be kind of a brief overview. So I'm going to be playing just against the AI here for just a minute. I'm going to try out, this will be my kind of second time to be against the AI. I played the first time with a friend. I'm just gonna play as the Germans. I also got the Liberation West all around DLC doctrine, which will include a lot of the Sturm Grenadiers from the campaign as well as the new update. So I'll try to piece this into maybe two parts, just featuring this game mode, and then the other video, kind of also with request being up to date on the video. This being the day of recording is July 29th. So with that being said, this is one of the more up-to-date videos that I'm going to be doing and publishing pretty quickly after it happens. A lot of the content on the channel has been videoed this year, but it's been early. Like, I have been grinding games and everything, getting content to together with different games that I've been grinding out and playing, and then it allows me to have more free time to not grind games as much, but then also freely play, you know, when I play with my friends sometimes, or I want to dedicate time to a series. So anyway, that's just kind of personal business, I guess. This is the last stand. So basically it's a lot like a defense mode, if you want to call it that. I don't really know. I just went ahead and got the German side again. This kind of looks just like a enemy wave. Yeah, this is let's see here. I don't really know what to do. You get a little bit of preparation time. Where's the engineers at? Alright. Get these guys coming down here so we can build this up. So basically, I don't know if they'll come from this way, but I think this direction, and up to the northeast, they're gonna show up. And it's just kind of a secretic countdown every 5 minutes. So nothing too crazy. I think we're gonna go ahead and add a trench. Never mind. I guess we're not gonna add a trench there. We're gonna add a trench like here. This is just like from the game, from the other map. It's pretty cool how they get it accurate. Okay, let's see here. That's a little kind of a glitch there. Oh my gosh, there we go. Alright, give me your shells. Gotcha. Let's go ahead and bring a MG42 up here. Give me your ammo.
Wann geht's endlich los?
So you can kind of see some of the new features that they've added in here as more cosmetics. You have a long sleeve hair, a little bit more details like the ammunition magazines, even the backpack that would carry the extra bazooka rounds. And then you also have the some of the summer wear, which you have. Try to get it blended in here. You have short sleeves, the hair 1944 helmet. You kind of see differentiations of this with the Fallschirmjäger units as well, which is a very nice feature to have. Now, it's also dependent on the you're also going to depend a lot on the season that you're into. Obviously, this is the springtime, summertime. Are you serious right now? That sucks. Can't put a freaking tank trench right here. That sucks. What about like right here? What? Can't put it in the road?
Wo sollen wir mit dem Teil hin?
Some of the audio has changed too. I'm not gonna say for better or for worse. Mostly better, I will say. Like the MG emplacements and stuff like that. There are positives to it. However, some of it is also wonky. And I know that it's not necessarily my audio on my computer either. Put some sandbags right over there.
Wo soll das Ding hin?
I'm gonna put like a sandbag over here too. Okay.
Ja? Wohin mit dem Ding?
Kind of blows about the no so you can secure those for extra resources. Cool. That's not good. I already hear. Grenadier. MG operator. I'm just gonna go ahead and.
Jawohl.
Hurry up. And be sneaky here.
Wie lauten die Befehle?
Yeah, I do like the new MG42 half track as well. They added, you know, simple features like lights. Oh no! Third, what is it at? Get behind the cow. See if I can get these guys here. Oh, I got shot. Darn it.
Panzer meldet sich einsatzbereit.
Alright, so there's that. Go ahead and repair.
Was sollen wir tun?
Alle bereit!
So this is just like, you know, you have different skins, cosmetic attire and stuff, which is cool. I think the audio, I think they've done pretty good with the audio. And then they've also added variety with the STG-44, which I also love. It's kind of a balance with the bar from the American faction. And then you also have a little bit more variety of like vehicles, which comes in different various things. We got a flank already coming here. Let's see here if we can get a.
Panzer einsatzbereit.
Oh man, watch out behind you. Watch out behind you. Oh, we traded.
Panzer einsatzbereit.
Oh, they're already capping our point here.
Panzer ist einsatzbereit.
Wohin mit dem Ding?
Oh, grenade, perfect. Nice throw, dude.
Männer.
You guys gonna stand up? Or you're just gonna sit there? Atta boy. Nice. Dang, that's a big explosion here. Still don't have tanks yet. What are you guys doing? The turkey shoot, I guess.
Jawohl, Männer! So muss das laufen! Sonny!
Oh, tater masher over there. Alright, well.
Wie lauten die Befehle?
Wann geht's los?
I guess screw the,
Begebe dich in Deckung! Gefälligst ruhig her! Jawohl!
screw the MG for now.
Geht's los? Befehle?
Panzer meldet sich einsatzbereit.
He's dead now. Let's see here. So yeah, unfortunately this is like a horrible spot to defend. However, where's a, that's a 10.5.
Achtung, Feindpanzer!
70, dang, they're attacking with a bunch of field artillery. There it is. Oh no! Let's see if I can. He hit a pole instead. I love it.
Already on
Yeah, but we're flanking, getting flanked here. Oh. Protect us! Come on! I say us, third person, because, well... Alright, let's see here.
Wir müssen die Stellung halten! Was sollen wir tun?
Befehl wird ausgeführt.
We're not upgraded anymore? Guess not. Oh my gosh. Yep. They are flanking us hardcore.
Hau rein, Sanitäter!
Panzer einsatzbereit.
They do not want us to,
Panzer erwartet Ihre Befehle. Treffer!
marksman. Oh my gosh.
Hier aus.
Oh!
Werfen eine
That would be
Handgranate.
hot, dude. Can you imagine having a flamethrower go right over your head? Oh, no says that.
Ich brauche einen Sanitäter!
Alright, get on that machine
Befehl
gun,
wird
boy.
ausgeführt.
Rücken wir aus.
Let's go capture this real quick.
Wo sollen wir mit dem Teil hin? Nachladen! Bereit!
Alrighty.
Geht's los?
Panzer, wir sind einsatzbereit. Panzer meldet sich einsatzbereit.
It's crazy.
Wo soll das Ding hin?
Probably gonna be coming. They're like, let's hold a crossroad. We only had like 15 minutes left, so I won't expect to get a tiger this game. Well, maybe. We'll see. Oh, they actually added 4. Oh, okay. That's cool. There's a tank crew at.
Panzer!
Wir müssen weiter.
Yikes.
Wo soll das Ding hin?
Was sollen wir tun?
Oh no. Ah! Ah! Hopped off at the wrong time.
Befehle?
Well,
Es geht los!
go ahead and repair it since you're.
Kameraden, wir rücken aus! Ja,
Uh-oh. Do we have a... No. Nope, he doesn't have a smoke grenade. Oh well.
verdammt, wir haben einen Vorteil! Befehle?
Uh-oh. Get back! Hurry up! Hurry! Well, that's not good.
Ja.
Ooh. Here we go. Oh boy. Behind you guys. Just give it control. A whole lot easier to do that.
Einsatzbereit. Panzer ist einsatzbereit.
Rücken wir aus?
Panzer erwartet Ihre Befehle.
Jawohl.
Panzer meldet sich einsatzbereit.
Was zum Teufel macht ihr da? Feuer erwidern!
Achtung, Feindpanzer!
Mehrere Waffen!
Achtung, Feindliche
They're coming everywhere. I need that tiger. Screw it. And a panther. Got a little bit more speed. That armored car's holding his own though. I saw the lights.
Feindliches Geschütz.
Wann geht's los?
We are hurting. And you don't grow, like the longer you play, obviously you get those zones where you can get more of those zones so that you're able to oh, they literally put a sandbag right when I had to pull it that. Okay.
Panzer erwartet Ihre
Get more
Befehle.
ability to get more manpower. And then it increases your
In Deckung!
we got another wave coming in, so
Nicht zurückweichen, Kameraden!
what is that? Just an armored car. Let's do
Glaub, mich hat's erwischt!
these guys up here. I hear him coming.
Ja!
Get this guy here. Now I do like the option that they gave with the rifleman, SMG, soldier, or semi-automatic, so you can kind of break it up. These little single units are a good add. So now I can take this SMG guy and put him in this half-track.
Jawohl!
Sounds like I got a tank over here.
Jawohl!
Actually, we're gonna put these
Glaub, mich
guys
hat's
here.
erwischt! Wie lauten die Befehle?
Panzer meldet
Really?
sich einsatzbereit.
What's going on? Okay.
Beginnt euch in Position! Schnell! Deckung!
Panzer!
Yeah, we're gonna.
Wir sind einsatzbereit. Achtung, Feindpanzer!
It's two Shermans. Got it. One's a 105. It seems like. Well, I don't know.
Werdet her!
Sucht euch Deckung!
Wann geht's endlich los?
It's my only hope.
Sich einsatzbereit.
Uh-oh. Oh, yep. HHV. There we go. Got him. Took them Shermans out, boy.
Get in here!
Here you go. Ooh. Wait, what?
Look out! Enemy archer incoming!
That was a 105? Is that the AA gun? Uh-oh. That's not good. Uh-oh, here we go. The final countdown.
Hinter dem Gebüsch! Pass auf!
Jawohl, für den ist endlich vorbei!
Do we have anything?
Da steht ein feindliches Geschütz! Jawohl!
Oh, wow. Okay. Hurry, 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 hurry. Oh, he's... Uh-oh. We won. But anyway, guys, that in a nutshell is The Last Stand. Basically, you could have it wave on wave up to 120 minutes, and then you can even adjust the synchronized waves. So you could set it higher or lower, which would be 5 minutes. Start wave time 300 seconds. Gives you a little bit of time to prepare. Obviously, this is able to be played as with AI. You can also play this online, so it's a good little additive to the collection. And you know, that's really it. So they added quite a bit. Now, one thing at the newest update, there's update 3, and then they did a a little patch this last month in July as well. But some of the things they did is they added the new icon for the locked units. There you have. And then they kind of readjusted the research tree ever so slightly. And one of those changes also came with the infantry class. So on the German side, for example, we have here, you used to have it go to the Jaeger squad, then you'd go up to the Gerschützenjäger, however you pronounce that, and then to the immediate right, the finals were the Fallschirmjäger units. However, they have broken it up more like the American USA faction. Now, you have more of your light, if you will, traveled units, kind of like you have up here, your lighter, not as versatile in armor, but you have like anti-infantry, light armor, light vehicle capabilities. Now, they did add more to these units. And then at the bottom, you have your Fallschirmjäger. And then you also have your Fallschirmjäger 1944. You kind of specialize in the western side of things, you know, when you get into the United States faction. And then you also have your mid-tier variety pack of units as well. This goes from Grenadier squads to a bunch of Sturmjäger Grenadiers, heavy Sturm Grenadier units, and this is more of the kind of individualizing the various infantry units in the European theater of war, getting away from the Ostfront and more to the defense of the France, Belgium, Poland and into the fatherland before the end of the war in 44 and 45. Now, as far as I know, just looking, they added the 15.5 centimeter, it looks like a World War II variant, or a World War I variant for the German side. And then that kind of really wraps it up. I don't think, I'm going to double check so I don't misquote anything. They didn't add any new vehicles on the Germans that I know of. So, yeah, I mean, actually, yes, they did. Okay, I forgot. They added one new variant, which was the, with update 3, and then also the just the newer update. They went ahead and added the first generation early version of the Tiger 2. And then you have the second complete version of the Tiger 2. It has basically a bigger turret mass. It has additional armor. But I mean, just looking at that thing, it is a behemoth. So they did add that. Now, one of the newer things that they have done with the skins is they give you a little bit more to... They updated the tanker uniforms from the traditional. Obviously, you have your winter wear. Now, if you click on these guys, you have the ability, and you can also notice there's different variation between squad leaders and lieutenants or commanders versus regular squads. So you have like your generic base tankman. Then you're able to go to a scorched look, which I think adds when, say, like, you know, the tank might be on fire and they get out. You have your summer, which I think is also kind of jacked up right now because... Here we go. So we have burned and then winter wear, which is here. And then the same thing with burned, just generic. And then that's your summer attire as well as the generic. And then you have the winter, which is, you know, fire retardant, heavier pants. But then that's not just them though. That is also the whole entire infantry. So same thing here. They added more variations of camo. So you have kind of like your generic base camo. And then you have B, which is more your urban environment, which, you know, predominantly is going to be in your European theater of war. You have just the camouflage, which is another variant of it. The Camo B, which is just another European. And then you have winter, and then winter B, which, you know, is basically you have your two different variations of camouflage, your base, and then your cam, you know, your little multicam looking tank here, but then faded with either white or, you know, snow. As far as like units going, you know, it's the same thing here. You have your here uniforms, just basic, generic, and then like summer, your darker, and then winter, obviously, and then burned again is just like, you know, your like battle hardened look, so to speak. Kind of interesting. Now with the flamer, they did add a pretty cool little feature here. They have a flamer wearing the gas mask, which obviously is more for probably his personal protection than anything else. You might get a little bit of fume influx that you're trying to protect yourself from in that time period with your experimentation of various weapon tactics. However, it's still going to be really hot. So anyway, but the burned probably would make most sense with the flamer after a long period of time. But again, it's, you know, nothing too crazy. The sniper is also really cool. It adds the face covering so you don't see your face. It would be cool if they did it with a sniper rifle too, a little Mauser. But again, it's just kind of a cool little feature that they added to the game. Nothing too abnormal, but there is that also. Also, you know, with your emplacements, kind of the same thing. You have like your stock, and then your desert camos, which some desert camos are just generic, such as that. But if you go to your flak cannon, you have a little bit more options, which one would be your desert, and then your camouflage, desert, winter, and then winter 1. So a lot of it just depends. I know this game is based off a lot of this authenticity, so there is that to go around. So when you get into the infantry units, though, you do have quite a bit added on the German faction, which the United States also did add kind of some similar variations. You have like the Luftwaffe Jaeger. These are just kind of your mid-tier classes. I think they just went ahead and added more respective units that were in the European theater of war, which is a good touch. You know, you have your Sturm Grenadiers, you know, your winter wear, your officers. There's just more versatility with units versus have to have, you know, Fallschirmjäger or the 101st Airborne. You're also able to get variations of anti-tank, anti-infantry, light armor, etc. without having to have those, or the specialized unit in general. So it's kind of a nice trade-over where you get extra maybe veterancy with those units versus just coming up or down here and getting a AT squad, Panzerstrecker anti-tank squad that may have lower veterancy or capabilities. So you have a little bit more to go with here. Also, you know, just kind of going down the list, Volksgrenadier, you know, just again, it's another variation. Nothing like too... I mean, they added the bazooka class, which kind of mimics some of the airborne classes that you see with the United States. But again, it's nothing like it's kind of cool though. You have like these guys who have cold weather gear, and then this guy who's got wrapped it up in a face mask. Kind of gives you an alternate look. So it gives a lot of unique features to the game and just like that real feel of individualism. Now I know those are kind of preset, but at the same time it just adds to the game. And then, you know, the last thing that I guess is worth mentioning, other than the Bradensburg unit that looks like he's got Down syndrome, is this. They've added the Gerbsjäger units, which adds versatility to them, because in the original, these are just like your mountain troopers that, you know, were mobile, fast, and, you know, didn't see... You know, you're not looking for tanks in the mountains. But then, you know, you get into the European side, 1944, you know, because this came from the base game Ostfront, so you're fighting the Russians. But now you have these Gerbjäger squads who have anti-tank capabilities with their Panzerfaust. And then you kind of have variation now, because they did it in the DLC, but you have your heavier duty Panzerfaust. Panzerfaust 100 is, I mean, it's a lot heavier, so you're going to pack a bigger punch. And then they also have this variation too, which again is going to be, you know, I don't think there's a whole lot of difference. Maybe with, say, here you have an MG42, and then here you have also an MG42. Okay, so 4, 4, 5, 4, 5. Is there any other? Let's just see here. Yeah, so I mean, I think it's more. The only other thing I can think of is. Okay, so basically the only thing it looks like it changes is these guys have a little bit more capabilities of taking out okay, so these guys, it appears this first section here is gonna be more heavily armed. You have a couple STG-44s, you have Panzerfausts, and an MG42, whereas the other units are more individualized with Kar-98s, and so they may not as good outfitted. Moving on to the Fallschirmjäger units, I mean the Bradensburger, they added more Panzerfausts as well to this unit. Panzerfaust 100, so it can take out more mid-tier armor, mid and even maybe disabling heavy armor. Now in your Fallschirmjäger units, as we know, that was the best units for the German infantry class that you could probably get collectively. Well-rounded unit with your health, your stamina regeneration, which is at a 7.5, which is ridiculously cool. Then your veterancy. But now they've added the Fallschirmjäger, I'm not even going to pronounce it, basically 1944 squad. So you have two variants of this. You have what appears to be like a scout, guerrilla warfare styled unit. You have, your squad lead, which is going to be with an MP40, but then you get an FG42 with Panzerfaust. You have two MG42s and then MG assist. One also having it appears to be a grenade launcher on, so you have anti-tank capabilities, anti-light armor. Now, when you get the motorized unit, you get more. You obviously are going to have your generic driver, who is a part of the squad, but then you're also able to get a sniper, FG42. You're still getting your two your MG42s, and then you lose your capability of having your grenade launcher on your Kar-98 with the one unit, but it looks like it's replaced with two heavier duty anti-tank Kar-98s, as well as the Panzerfaust on an STG-44, which has a Panzerfaust 60, and then in the base game, and then you have the Panzerfaust 100, which we kind of started seeing in the DLC. So, with that being said, they didn't really add anything else to it. Also, a unique backpack, which carried more Panzerschreck rounds, which I think is a cool feature. Not a whole lot going on there. After that, just the additional units that we've already seen just going there. Now moving on to the United States faction. Now, we did see this last month that the United States faction is going to have what appears to be another DLC. I think they're in between cycles. I've kind of been following Gates of Hell long enough that it's kind of a big release, then you're going to have a smaller release with maybe a new faction, which is what we saw about 2 years ago now with the Finnish campaign, which was the Talvisoda. Then you wait, we got another year out of the way. We have Liberation. Oh, we had Scorched Earth, what was supposed to be an original release, but due to time constraints, according to the devs, they went ahead and published the base game and then just made it a very smaller. I don't think there was much effort that had to be put into it, just the gameplay itself. Came up with a few tweaks in addition to the DLC that came out for Scorched Earth. We got a couple new, 4 missions for the Russians and 4 missions for the Germans, and it was a pretty cool ordeal. Then we move on, and then now we have a big new reboot for the Americans, U.S. faction, and we have the Liberation, and then that is kind of where we're at now. So I think we're about to have pretty soon anyway, a soft update, DLC, if you will, in regards to the American faction. For a little bit there, I was kind of split. I was like, man, they might be adding a new faction. The first release was showing a very iconic scene of the piano, which you were able to see in the Band of Brothers miniseries in the intro, theatrical intro to the show. Every time there's a piano on the one of the main streets in Carentan when they take out Carentan, the day after, the couple next few days into the initial assault of Normandy. So there was that. And then we recently, this last month of July, also were able to see a DLC teaser again, which showed the giant, what I'm gonna believe is the Nijmegen Bridge, which, if you've ever seen the older movie A Bridge Too Far, is a overview movie with the British and United States forces in Operation Market Garden in World War II during 1944. Took place in September, so we're almost, coming up to that. And so you could expect that to take place. Now, I do not remember the exact date. I could probably look it up real quick while I'm speaking here. Anyway, so Operation Market Garden was, simply in a nutshell, was an attempt to basically put a bunch of paratroopers in various key locations so that they could secure crossings and basically have little rally points. And anyway, once the United States Armor Column was able to get to the secure location by those paratrooper units, which was the 101st, 82nd, and British Airborne Forces, they were basically going to hop in with them, and then they were going to have a quick way into Germany in hopes of ending the war before Christmas in 44. As we know from history, that was an utter failure, and it didn't work out. But luckily, we were able to rebound as the Allies were, and continue on in the war and get a dub. So, looking up on Google, Operation Market Garden was from September 17th to September 25th, 1944. And anyway, I personally think that we could see the DLC come out in that time frame, which from the time of this video to around the time of this posting in the next day or two will be about a month and some change from now. And I think we are going to see the DLC emphasize airborne units. You may have emphasis on the 101st. You might have some emphasis on the 82nd Airborne. And then you might see a teaser, which is what I believe will be the next faction in the Gates of Hell community. And this is why I think this. I have not talked to any devs. I don't have any of their names on top of my head. This is what I think, and I'll tell you why. This is Man with No Name's personal thoughts and opinions only, and I can only back it up with what we have in the game. So we might see a foreshadowing of the next DLC in this DLC because we're involving the British Airborne, which this was a British operation. So, with this DLC coming into play, we will see basically new airborne units and then just have a little bit more gameplay. They might introduce a few new vehicles. We don't really know. But the reason that I say that is also they added this M4A1 basically duck boat, whatever. These were initially supposed to be used in the invasion of Normandy, and they were supposed to float these tanks with these propellers from battleships and carriers to the beach, and there was a high failure rate. Let's just say that. A lot of tanks did not make it to the beach, not even because they were shot, but because they were sunken due to their, counterpart to float not working. So that did not help out the frontal assault and casualties at all. Now, with not taking away too much of the overview of this game, there is this LVT-4, which was used a little bit in the theater of war of Europe, but this is predominantly used in the Pacific theater of war. If you've watched the other amazing documentary / miniseries, The Pacific, this is what a lot of the landing craft looks like for the United States Marine Corps during the invasions of various islands such as Peleliu and Iwo Jima and others. So I also think that the United States Marine Corps faction and the Japanese will be into this game eventually. We're just going to cover all of World War II, but I think that's a little teaser down the line. But predominantly, I believe that we are going to see the British be next in the faction. And I'll tell you why, because we have a little bit of teaser going on already. If you remember, in the first mission of the Liberation DLC, we got D-Day, and we're climbing the cliffs. Well, if you go into the inventory of the landing craft, there is a British machine gun that you are able to take into your inventory for one of your units, and then you're able to see that it's like, hey, that's the British. We also see the similarities in that being teasers a little bit, because if you paid attention during the previous updates to the game, such as Scorched Earth, and prior to Scorched Earth, you have the Churchill and the Vickers tank that are British tanks with the Lent-Lease program from the British to the Russians during World War II. And then during Scorched Earth, we kind of got a little bit of a teaser again for the United States faction with the Lent-Lease program, because you were able to add the early 76, the late M4A1, and then we had the Stuart. So that is just kind of my thought on it, and then what more to introduce it than bring in the British into this this new DLC and introduce that, and that will be the new campaign. I think that will consist of both North Africa and also Europe. I think it would be really cool to bring in North Africa, because then you're getting into new cosmetics for uniforms, new content, new maps, new biomes, and then obviously authenticity. You could see it also play into the Italian theater of war too. But again, that's as opinionated. I don't have any evidence to back that up other than what I've just established. But anyway, I will digress from that. Now, this little new update here for the United States faction, we added a whole lot more Ranger units. Ranger, and then armored rifle squads, veteran rifle squads, and then mountain rifle squads, Pioneer. We also have at our disposal more of the 82nd and 101st Airborne that was added, just a few different variants. It kind of looks like they did the same thing with, say, like the Fallschirmjäger units that were added. So we had the 101st Airborne kind of be our most elite unit in the game for the American factions. However, that is not the case anymore. It looks like we have the 101st Engineer Squad, which, you know, kind of gives you no armor, anti-armor capabilities. Well, you have light armor and mid armor with your AT launcher, but then you have a flamethrower. But then you get into the 101st. Then you kind of step it up back again with veterancy going to basically 5.6655 with the engineer squad for the 82nd. And then you have the 82nd, which is a tier 4 plus 82nd Airborne Squad, which you have a little bit of everything. You have a M9A1 bazooka launcher, which is able to take out heavier tanks such as the Tiger and Panther and disable them a lot easier. Your veterancy is a lot higher. You have a lot more health now, 360, and the stamina, and 8.8 health regen, which is pretty crazy. You're also looking at new... You don't have any new skins because those skins were kind of... The skin update was for the Germans. But then you have just this kind of all-out, dastardly looking 82nd Airborne unit. You have not as much... Does not appear to be like as variety as the 101st, because you have just basically riflemen and stuff. But this second tier class would probably be your better option. You have MG, I would say, and then you also have anti-tank capabilities. And I don't know. It's just extra variant. Now, one thing that they did add, which I keep on accidentally clicking on because I'm getting ahead of schedule, is they have a recoilless rifle unit now. Basically, there's not much. I have not tested this unit out because the veterancy on this is not as high. However, it appears that the penetration on this is going to be... It looks like you have high explosives, and then anti-armor, and white phosphorus. So that's going to be good. It looks like... Let's see what anti-heat's going to look like. Looks like we're going to have 80 millimeter of penetration with 300 health damage possible. So yeah, and it looks like it looks like it's an adjustable stand, maybe if he's laying prone. I'm not exactly sure how that's gonna play out in the gameplay. I will definitely have to tweak with that and see what's going on there. The only thing that I don't like about the American factions is the tripod stand for the 50 and the 30 cal. I like the 1917 A1. However, you know, because you can't, dudes are laying prone basically, and I know it's grammatically correct and accurate, but it's very hard to give them defense when you have the mechanism of them just laying prone. You can't put sandbags around. You can put the half ones on their sides, but that's about it. I'm looking through, and I'm not seeing any other variation. Actually, H105, yeah, okay, we've already seen that. And that's essentially pretty much it. So with that, we have a couple new Ranger units as well. It just looks like it's kind of like the Sturm Grenadiers, just more variety with the Rangers. Ranger special weapons selection, which you have a 60 millimeter mortar a couple AT guys, and then you have your glider squads for the 82nd Airborne, which again doesn't seem like too crazy. You have your 101st Glider Squad too, which you don't really hear about or talk about very much, just because you know, like myself included, when you hear the 101st Airborne, you think of Band of Brothers. So the last thing is Mountain Pioneers, and these are 1945 Ardennes Forest and other places. And it looks like the first, yeah, it looks like these. Oh, you actually have we actually have a grease gun for. I think that's one of the. I don't think the tankers don't even have the grease gun. You have. That's kind of cool. Get the grease gun for the first time. That's the first time I've seen a unit with a grease gun. Bars, M1s. Well, M1 Garands, because you got the M1 helmet, you got the M1 Garand, you got the M1 carbine, M1. I think one of the 9. Yeah, it's just you got a bunch of M1s there. So, anyway, lastly, okay, so I know that I haven't played with the Russian faction in a super long time because, well, it's just it has nothing to go on with current events. Ooh, they actually have a portable 300. That's kind of cool. That's new. Is there anything else that they've added? Oh, that is new too. Looks like is that a 76? Yeah, on the back of a truck. And then you have your traditional. Yeah, that's from like the first Call of Duty. I remember that one. Then we have our traditional truck, and then our big behemoth. Do they have armored? Anything else on the armored cars with the Russian faction? This is new too. Not used that yet. I haven't played with the Russians, but yes. See, you have your Valentine, and then your church. You know, your Valentine here, and then you have the Lent-Lease program with the Lee. Some of these American tanks. Then you have the Churchill. KV-85, IS-1, really good tank. So yeah, it doesn't look like they've added any other vehicles in those light vehicles. Now, it looks like they've added some new skins, maybe? No, not new skins, but just new. So you have a bunch of new Recon Squad original. Recon Squad 1944. Sapper Engineer. Rifle Squad. They added a new. Looks like they added some new icons for the squads. Doesn't look too different than, yeah. Rifle Squad 1944. SVTs, couple Mosins, DP-27. Then you have the Sergeant. Oh, okay. So they added the PPS-43. And yeah, that's kind of cool. Did they add the Guards Infantry? I think they had a variant of that in the base game. You have a Motorized Guard Infantry. Oh, okay, Marine Rifle. Your okay, NKVD Mountain Squad. So they did have the Mountain Squad originally, but interesting. What is this Cavalry Rifle? Doesn't look too unique, I guess. Oh, so they have paratrooper squad now too, which is kind of, I think, is older, but obviously not too old. Looks like most of them dudes are rocking the. You'd think they'd all have like SVT rifles. And it looks like the best units they have here are going to be your guards paratrooper squad, which that makes more sense. You got a bunch of PPSHs, 71s, your SVT rifles, DP-27, I believe, right? Oh, DT bipod. Wow, okay. That's cool. And it's kind of one of the first times you see that in on a squad, not a vehicle. Yeah. Well, that's cool. I know that they added a lot of work to skins and other stuff to the Germans. Last but not least, I don't want to leave out the Finnish. Of course, I think I would say for the most part that the Finns are probably done with development, if I were going to be a guessing man. It doesn't look, to my view here, that they've added anything else. No, they haven't added anything else. I do like that 17 millimeter or centimeter. I mean, it's hard keeping up with the different factions, and yeah, it does not appear that they have not added anything else. It looks like that they've basically, yeah. So there's nothing there. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the little overview of with the new update and everything. Like I said, I think the new DLC is gonna come with the paratroopers, and we're gonna see kind of like a little we will see, I would say, the British in there. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not, for, you know, what it's worth. I hope I get to see the British. And then that means that I would say that's a good chance that that's going to be the new faction, which is you're going to have probably maybe a little prelude to the Aussies in North Africa, but it's predominantly going to be the British down in the very early stages of World War II, which you could probably get a little bit. I think it could go one of two ways. You could have kind of like two campaigns with the British, like you have with, it kind of doubles up here, because you have the Germans, who have basically essentially two campaigns as of now. You have the Ostfront and the European theater. And then basically, they've already attacked, you know, we got the American faction here. So then just add in more campaigns with the British on the European side for the Germans. And then you have the British campaign for Europe. And then you have the, you know, campaign for North Africa and even into Italy. So I don't know how they are going to do that. I could see it being one very large, you know, it could be a very large DLC with the British. And then it could also not, they could break it up into stages based on like their advancements and development. Now, in the future, I do see a very large DLC coming out for the Marines and with the United States and then the Japanese in the Pacific Theater of War, which obviously is going to be predominantly, you know, islands and segments of land on the Pacific Theater of War. But that's just, you know, I think it's going to be cool. It would be kind of cool, instead of in that particular field, instead of having like artillery, you could have call-ins similar to what you have now, but instead of it being artillery, you're getting naval bombardments from battleships. So that would just seem legit to me, and then bombing runs with planes and those things. And then the Japanese would be kind of similar in ways, but different at the same time, depending on what island or group of islands that you're on, whether it's Solomons in the Philippines, or Iwo Jima, Guadalcanal, and others. So anyway, I hope you'll enjoy the series upcoming. I am about to start a brand new series. It's uploaded and ready to go. It's called the Terminator. It's a Terminator RTS game. Towards the end of the series, I won't lie, I got annoyed with the game. I think there was personal things going on that was making me frustrated too in my life, but at the same time, the game was kind of annoying. At the end, but they have updated it several times since I've played it. I played way earlier this year, like in February. So, anyway, but the life things that I had going on then are no more. We're overcome those. We beat that game finally. It's a new RTS game, new kind of a new way to play. I still am spoiled with Gates of Hell because it is by far one of the best, probably will be the best RTS game that I will ever experience until something more sophisticated or awesome comes along. Now, saying that, we finished, going to wrap up. It will go throughout the end of the year, the Fallout, and then I have more additional content for you guys into the next year already being published and uploaded to YouTube, and then being scheduled so that you guys will always have some awesome content made by yours truly. If you do have other games, such as Rattenreich, that is coming out early access this next month in August, then let me know, because that game will be also being played and featured by me. I'm looking forward to the Indiana Jones game coming out, hopefully at the end of this year. Says Q4, fingers crossed. We'll see. And then we will also see about what other new games, including Gates of Hell, that we'll have to offer on the channel in the future. Anyway, guys, we'll call it there. And I hope you enjoyed the gameplay and the breakdown of all the factions. And we will see you all in the next video. If you have, again, any suggestions, please comment on my channel. Comment on a video, what you would like to see or what you would like to see different. Also, there's my email. I check it fairly regularly. But if you can't get a hold of me, then just tune in. I post from time to time to get an idea of what you, the viewer, wants to see, and we can go from there. But with saying all that, we'll call it there, and we'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.